Roughly 3 billion people just got a robot ghostwriter, and almost none of them noticed. On the 4th of June, Meta quietly switched on a brand new AI creator assistant baked directly into Facebook. Not a separate app, not a beta you sign up for. It is sitting right next to the post button, ready to write your captions, pitch your video ideas, and even predict which post will blow up before you publish it. Think about the scale here. That is not a niche developer tool. That is a feature dropped into the hands of nearly a third of the entire planet overnight. To put that in perspective, if every Facebook user were a country, it would be the largest nation on Earth by a wide margin, and Meta just gave that whole nation the same automated writing helper. So what does this assistant actually do? In plain English, it is like having a personal editor who has read every post you have ever written, studied what your audience clicks on, and watches what is trending right now all at once. You type a rough idea, and it hands back a polished caption in seconds. The big question creators are asking is simple. Is this a genuine superpower, or is Facebook about to fill up with content that all sounds the same? Because when one machine writes for billions of people, something strange starts to happen to the way we talk online. And here's where it gets interesting. Because the technology behind this has been quietly building for years. To understand why this matters, you have to rewind a couple of years. Meta did not stumble into AI by accident. The company has been pouring staggering amounts of money into it, with reported spending on AI infrastructure climbing into the tens of billions of dollars per year. We are talking about warehouses packed with specialized computer chips, the kind that cost more than a luxury car each, humming around the clock just to train these systems. Picture a power station, but instead of electricity, it pumps out artificial intelligence. At the heart of all this is a family of AI models Meta calls Llama. If that name sounds friendly, the technology behind it is anything but small. A large language model like Llama is essentially a prediction engine that has read a mind-bending amount of text and learned to guess what word should come next. Feed it the start of a sentence, and it finishes it in a way that sounds remarkably human. Meta made an unusual bet here. While rivals kept their best models locked away, Meta released versions of Llama openly, letting outside developers build on top of them. That decision turned Llama into one of the most widely used AI foundations on the planet. So this new creator assistant is not a side project. It is the payoff for years of spending, the moment Meta finally puts all that raw AI horsepower directly into the hands of everyday users. But here's what most coverage gets wrong about why Facebook needs this so badly. Let us crack open the hood and see how this thing actually works, because it is cleverer than a simple text generator. When you start writing a post, the assistant is doing 3 jobs at the same time. First, it studies you. It looks at your past posts, the way you phrase things, the topics you return to, and it builds a kind of fingerprint of your voice. Imagine a tribute band that has listened to every song you ever recorded and can now write a brand new track that sounds just like you. Second, it studies your audience. It quietly tracks which of your posts got the most reactions, what time your followers are awake, and which words made them stop scrolling. Third, it studies the wider world, scanning what is trending across Facebook right now. Then it blends all 3 into a suggestion. So instead of staring at a blank box, you get a finished caption, 3 alternative headlines, and even a recommendation like, post this as a short video at 7 in the evening. Here is the number that makes the scale real. The assistant can generate these suggestions in under a couple of seconds, drawing on patterns from billions of posts. A human social media manager might charge hundreds of dollars a month to do a slower version of the same job. Now Facebook is offering it free, built right in. But here's the twist nobody expected, because all that personalization comes from somewhere, and that somewhere is you. Let us make this concrete with some real situations, because the theory only matters if you can see it in action. Picture a small bakery owner who runs her shop's Facebook page. She is brilliant at baking and terrible at writing posts. Before, she might stare at the screen for 20 minutes trying to describe a new sourdough loaf. Now she types 3 words, fresh sourdough today, and the assistant hands her a warm, inviting caption, suggests a close-up photo of the crust, and tells her that food posts on her page perform best at 8 in the morning. What used to take 20 minutes now takes 20 seconds. Or take a fitness creator who posts workout clips. The assistant watches, that his Monday motivation videos consistently outperform everything else, so it nudges him to lean into that, even drafting a weekly series concept around it. It is like having a coach who studies your game tape and tells you exactly which plays are working. Then there is the small news page that struggles to keep up. The assistant can summarize a long article into a punchy 3-line post, ready to publish. Here is the eye-opening part. Early creators testing similar tools have reported posting 2 to 3 times more often, simply because the friction of writing vanished. When the hard part gets easy, people do far more of it. And that single change, more posts from more people, is about to reshape your entire feed in a way you have not been warned about. So how does Meta's move stack up against everyone else in this race? Because Facebook is not the only platform reaching for AI. The key difference comes down to one word: distribution. Other tools are powerful, but you have to go find them. You open a separate website, copy your idea over, generate the text, then paste it back into your post. That is friction, and friction kills habits. Meta's masterstroke is that the assistant lives inside the place you already are. No extra app, no copy and paste, no new password. It is the difference between having to drive across town for a coffee and having a barista standing in your kitchen. On raw capability, rival systems from companies focused purely on AI writing may still edge ahead in some clever tricks, but Meta wins on reach by a margin no one can match. Consider the math. A standalone AI writing tool might have a few million users. Meta just deployed its assistant to a potential audience of roughly 3 billion. That is a difference of nearly 1,000 to 1. Even if Meta's tool was slightly less polished, that scale changes the whole game, because the platform with the most users generates the most data, and more data makes the AI smarter, which attracts even more users. It is a snowball rolling downhill. Here's the part most people miss. This is not really a battle over who has the best AI. It is a battle over who owns your attention, and that fight has much bigger stakes than better captions. Now we get to the part that should make you pause before you switch this on. Every clever suggestion the assistant gives you is built by studying your content, your habits, and your audience's behavior. In the world of AI, there is a blunt saying: if the tool is free, your data is the product. To personalize your captions, the system has to analyze what you write, who engages with it, and how. That is an enormous amount of information about you and the people who follow you, flowing into Meta's machine. Think of it like a helpful assistant who also keeps a detailed diary of everything you have ever said. Useful, but you should know the diary exists. Then there is the bigger, stranger risk: sameness. When one AI engine, trained on the same patterns, starts writing for millions of pages at once, posts begin to blur together. The same punchy structure, the same trending phrases, the same rhythm. Imagine walking into 1,000 different shops, and every single one has the identical sign in the window. Experts call this model collapse, where AI trained on AI-generated content slowly drifts toward bland, repetitive sludge. There is also the question of trust. When you read a heartfelt post from a creator, was it them or a machine wearing their voice? That uncertainty quietly chips away at the human connection that made social media feel real in the first place. But here's the kicker: you do not have to use it blindly, and the way you use it makes all the difference. So let us get practical. If this assistant is now sitting in your Facebook tools, how do you use it without your page turning into robotic mush? The trick is to treat it as a first draft, never the final word. Here is a simple workflow. First, when you open the Creator tools and the assistant offers a suggestion, read it, but then rewrite at least a third of it in your own words. Drop in a detail only you would know, an inside joke, a local reference, a memory. That is the human fingerprint the AI cannot fake. Second, use it for the boring parts, not the soul. Let it handle the things you hate, like turning a long caption into a short one or brainstorming 10 title options, but write the emotional opening line yourself. Third, check the facts. These models can sound confident while being completely wrong, a habit experts call hallucination. If the assistant claims a statistic or a date, verify it before you post, because your name is on it, not the machine's. Fourth, watch your settings. Look for the privacy controls and review what data the assistant is allowed to use. If you can limit how much of your audience information it taps, decide consciously rather than leaving it on by default. The golden rule is this: the AI is a power tool like a nail gun. In skilled hands it builds faster, Left running on its own, it just makes a mess. Use it to amplify your voice, not replace it. And that distinction leads straight to the one big takeaway you need to walk away with. So here is what this actually means for you starting today. Meta has handed nearly 3 billion people the same AI writing engine, and the feed you scroll every day is about to change because of it. Expect more posts, faster, and a lot of them shaped by the same machine. The creators who win in this new world will not be the ones who lean on the AI the hardest. They will be the ones who use it to clear away the busy work. Then pour their saved time into the things a machine can never copy. Real stories, real opinions, real personality. In a feed where everyone has the same robot ghostwriter, the most valuable thing you own is the part of you that sounds nothing like a robot. So your move this week is simple. If you create on Facebook, go find the new assistant, try it on one low-stakes post, and pay attention to how much it sounds like you versus how much sounds generic. Then dial in that balance, and if you are just a viewer, start noticing. Ask yourself which posts feel genuinely human and which feel machine-made. That awareness is going to matter more every single month. This is one of the clearest signs yet that AI is no longer a tool we visit. It is becoming the water we swim in. If you want to keep up with where this is heading next, follow for daily AI news, because the next shift is already on its way. And you will want to see it coming.